Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final Mishnah in this long, brachos. There's a lot of Mishnayos, and we went through chapter 1 to 9, and as always, for Shalema, Yitzchak ben Ella, Leib Yehuda Halevi, and my grandfather, נישמות, David Gעצel Halevi. It's amazing. It's amazing that we're here. It's amazing that the Baruch A'Havat KOLLEL KOLLEL is allowing me to learn with you and to really accomplish this whole amazing, all these different Mishnayos that we did. And if you're coming now just to the end and you're saying just the end, I encourage you to go back to the beginning and to go through everything and to learn and on your own learn. And it's just amazing that we're finally here on the final Mishnah of this amazing journey that we've been on. So we spoke about how throughout this last chapter 9 of brachos, that there's the theme that goes on here is the theme of Hashem does everything for the good, whether it turns out not the way you expected it to be, whether it turns out perfect. It's exactly what Hashem wants. Hashem is the one who is guiding all life's craziness, all of life's amazingness, everything that can possibly happen is Hashem. Anything that didn't happen is Hashem. This is the theme of this final chapter, and to be honest, it's really the theme of brachos in general. But here we have the proof to everything I'm saying. Before we spoke about the idea that if you have something good happens to you, you say Atayva Meitiv, and something bad happens to you, you say Baruch Dainemes. So there's two separate brachas for the good and the bad. But here we're going to have very, very strong language of what I'm talking about. And we'll begin now with Hey. Hey is the final Mishnah. Chayiv. It starts with Chayiv. Chayiv is a word that we shouldn't take lightly. Chayiv, we use Chayiv for things that have to do with, kashrus, and it's a really serious word that has to do with kosher things, that has to do with tefillin, it has to do with, anything that you could think about in Judaism. Chayiv, an obligation, is very, very heavy. It's very serious. So it says here in the Mishnah, Chayiv Adam Mavarich Ala Ra Kashem Shu Mavarich Ala Tova, so that a person is obligated. He's obligated. It's not, there's a difference when I say to you, it's a good idea, or it's a nice thing, or whatever it may be, and whatever language I could use to say that you should bless Hashem for good and bad. It doesn't compare to the word chayiv. Chayiv is you don't have other options. Chayiv is this is your mission. This is your life's mission. You need to accomplish this. You need to do this. So chayiv adam mavarich ala ra kashem shu mavarich ala tova. So a person is obligated to bless Hashem for the bad just as much as he would bless Hashem for the good. So I always, a perfect example that I use is that you won the lottery, and if you're a God-fearing man or woman, or you always want to say that Hashem is the source of everything, you wouldn't even hesitate to thank Hashem for winning the lottery. You would go to shul right away and daven to Hashem, thank you so much. You would call up your friends. You would do anything you possibly can to just thank Hashem. Maybe make him sudas haida and just be amazed that Hashem did such a great thing for you. It's allowing you to win millions and $1 million for nothing, for buying a ticket. But that same feeling that I just described of somebody who won the lottery, calling his friends, making meals, going to shul, doing whatever he can to thank Hashem, because he acknowledges that it is Hashem who's the one who's doing this, and this is something that's good. This is a good thing. So too, take that same feeling that you just won the lottery, and Hashem, Chaz v'Shalom, you broke your leg, Chaz v'Shalom, you went to jail, Chaz v'Shalom, anything bad happens, you take that same amount of excitement that you won the lottery and you use that for the bad. There's really no difference. It's an obligation. The difference here about this wording here is that it's not a nice thing. You really have to, come out of it. It's very hard to do, but you have to come out of yourself. You have to break out of your shell. Most people are just used to when bad things happen, you complain. When good things happen, you you celebrate. But this is not the Jewish ideal. This is not the Jewish way. The Jewish way is everything is from Hashem. Not one single aspect of our life, not one conversation, not one stub toe. You stub your toe. You spill spill a soda. You gain, as people gain weight. Oh, I'm so fat. It's from Hashem. Hashem made you gain that weight. Hashem, every single thing that happens. And we have an obligation to do this. As Jews, we are obligated to do this. This is not a nice thing. This is an obligation. I'm sorry, I just went on a little rampage or a little rant about this because this is the final Mishnah. And also, we're just, talking about this for even a minute, even 2 minutes. If you talk about this for a half an hour, you speak about, belief in Hashem and everything is good or bad. We're only scratching the surface. People sit there for days and days learning Gemara, learning, Ian, how to understand the Gemara. But one of the biggest things that we really need to understand in Judaism, what we really need to dissect, is this concept of Hashem could be in evil places. Once I was in this event, and not many religious people were there, or people that I would consider religious, and somebody got up and said a divrei Torah. Somebody got up and said a word of Torah. And I was so confused. I was thinking to myself, in this place, there's Torah. In this place where nobody cares about Hashem, nobody keeps Shabbos properly, nobody keeps kosher, I was thinking, how could Hashem be present here? How could Hashem be in this place where there aren't people who even care about Him? And then I realized that Hashem is everywhere. There's not a place. There's movies. Some movies are so disgusting. Hashem is there. Some people say disgusting. That Hashem is there in the worst, darkest places. Hashem is there as well, and that's what this means. And we have a proof. We have a proof that you are obligated to thank Hashem for good things, for bad things, just as you were good things, because it says V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha menecha v'chol menecha. And it's funny, just as we started a lot of the Mishnayos with the Shema, we started with the mitzvah of Shema. So too, it seems like we're going to be ending now on the mitzvah of Shema. Well, at least the proof, the proof that we need to thank Hashem comes from V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavecha, with all of your heart. You need to love Hashem with all of your heart. B'chol me'adecha, you need to love Hashem. B'chol nafshecha, you need to love Hashem with all of your soul. B'chol me'adecha, you need to love Hashem with all of your resources, with all of it. So we're going to dissect this. B'chol levavecha, b'shnei yitzarecha, b'yetzer tov v'b'yetzer ra. So this is very, very interesting. So listen to this. So we say this every day. We love Hashem b'chol levavecha, with all our heart. But the way that it's split up here, the wording levavecha, is broken up into almost two hearts, two desires, two inclinations. B'chol levavecha means b'yetzer tov v'b'yetzer ra. You have an inclination for good and an inclination for bad. So just as you love Hashem, you have to love Hashem with your bad inclination, with your evil inclination. Just obviously to say you have to love Hashem with your good inclination seems more obvious, but you have to love Hashem even with your bad inclination, because levavecha is split up into two, which is b'yetzer tov v'b'yetzer ra. B'chol nafshecha, with all of your soul. Afilu hu noitel es nafshecha. Even if Hashem takes your life, you have a sore to your neck, you have a disease that has no curing. You love Hashem, you care about Hashem, you bless Hashem no matter what. B'chol me'odecha, b'chol meinecha, with all of your money. We have money sometimes. Money comes, money goes, and it's all Hashem's. We have to remember that all the money is Hashem, is Hashem's to have, and we have to understand that that Hashem is the one who's giving us this money. So therefore, we have to love Him with all of our money as well. It's not our money. We have to. If we have to give, if we have to be broke to keep, Hashem's Torah, we do it. Davar achar. So there's another explanation. B'chol me'odecha. So again, what we're doing here is we're separating these three things: nafshecha, levavecha, nafshecha, me'odecha. And levavecha means your yetzer tov, your yetzer ra. Nafshecha means you have to give up your when you give up your life. You have to, no matter what. for Hashem. B'chol me'odecha means your money. But now there's another interpretation b'chol me'odecha, b'chol mida u'mida shu moirid lecha have a moida lecha b'moid moid. So the other interpretation b'chol me'odecha isn't just money. Another interpretation is that whatever Hashem does to you, whatever happens to you, whatever your measure for measure is that Hashem does, no matter what, you love Hashem, you praise Hashem, you keep His Torah. I know, again, all this sounds like, okay, well, it sounds so easy to say, it sounds so easy to do. And in practicality, when bad things happen, we just want to be upset, we want to blame God. But, if we think about this idea, I personally, what comes to what always reminds me of just getting back to this idea of like Hashem is in control of everything. And I mean, I don't think and I'm going to share this with you just because it's our last one, but it's really it has to do with this word chayiv, and I'm going to show over here the word chayiv, an obligation. If you have a kid, if somebody has children and their child is sick, they don't look at it as a thing that as they they have an option to take care of their child. Or if you have a job and you need to make money, it's not an option that you go make money. It's you got to do it. You got to do these things. So I think about the word chayiv, an obligation, and I remember, as hard as it's going to be, it's just like if I was broke and I needed a job to support myself. I'm not going to let myself live in the street. So these are things that we need to do. It's a must. It's we wake up every morning, we need to get up and we need to daven and we need to learn and we need to keep Shabbos and we need to keep kosher. Okay, so now we're going on to a different topic. Lo yakol adam es rosh keneged shar hamizrach. So we're talking now about the Beis HaMikdash, and we say that shu mechuven keneged Beis Kodshei HaKadoshim. So your person's not allowed to have lightheadedness when he goes to the eastern gate of the temple, because it's aligned to the Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Holy of Holies. So you're not allowed to have lightheadedness. You're not allowed to joke around and say maybe late son, it's chas v'sholom. You need to be, when you go to the Beis HaMikdash, you have to be serious. And I think maybe it's not connected to what we were just saying, but maybe one connection could be is that because we really this mission is so precious, because we're really giving you the essence of Judaism. We're giving you the real meat and potatoes of the Jewish religion. Of you have to believe that Hashem does things for good, everything for good. The bad, it's just the constant happiness. It's really about happiness, because we have to constantly be in a state of everything is good. Everything is good. That's the state we need to stay in. So it makes sense that we're talking about now the Beis HaMikdash, because Beis HaMikdash is a time when everything was good and everything Hashem, and we saw clearly that Hashem did do everything for the, it wasn't so hard to believe in Hashem and to trust in Hashem's wisdom. Lo yikanes lahar habayis b'makloi u'minaloi u'befid ufun dasai uve'avak sha'al ragla v'lo yasenu kapandaria or kika mikal v'chaymer. So another thing about the Beis HaMikdash, you're not allowed to go in with your staff, your shoe, and your money belt, or the dust on your feet. We know that when you go to Beis HaMikdash, they had a kiyur where you could wash your feet. And you're not allowed to use a shortcut. And this is where we learn a law that when it comes to a base medrash, you're not allowed to have a shortcut for the base medrash. You're not allowed to use it. I say I need to get to the other side of the street, and I can use the base medrash as a way to somehow it's easier. You can't use the Beis HaMikdash as a shortcut, just like you can't use the Beis HaMikdash as a shortcut. There's no spitting on account of a kal v'chomer, and I won't get into what a kal v'chomer is, but basically in the Beis HaMikdash you're not allowed to spit on the floor. You're not allowed to use it as a shortcut. You can't have your staff, your shoe, dirt on your feet. Kol chachmei bracha shu me'b'mikdash hayu oimrim min ha'olam mishekalkalu haminim va'amru ein olam ela echad hasikinu shehu oimrim min ha'olam v'ad olam. So originally, everybody who would we would conclude in the Beis HaMikdash from the world. When we would say a bracha, in the Beis Hamikdash, we would say from the world. We would say Min ha'olam, from the world. When the heretics came, and they wanted to say that there is but one world, so the heretics said that there's only one world. But in Judaism, we know there's something called Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. So in the Beis Hamikdash, we used to bless and say from the world. But because of the heretics, we needed to change that, and instead we say from the world until the world, from Min ha'olam v'ad olam, from this world until the next world. V'sikinu sheyu adam shoyel es shalom chaveru b'shem, and they instituted that a person should greet his fellow with a name. Okay, so they instituted that a person is allowed to greet another person with Hashem's name. Shneimar v'hinei bayaz, and we learn from bayaz. Bob mebeis lachem v'omer lekaitzu me'amichem v'amru lo yivarechacha Hashem v'omer Hashem imcha gibor hachayo v'omer al ta'avuz ki zakna imcha v'omer es lasos la'Hashem afiru t'orazecha Rabbi Notzan omer afiru t'orazecha es lasos la'Hashem salak mesachtes brachos. So we have at the end different proofs as to, basically Hashem, Boaz came from, and he was speaking to his workers. He came from Bethlehem, and he greeted the harvesters. Hashem is with you. He said, Yivarecha Hashem. And they said back to him, Hashem is with you, mighty man of valor. They said, Hashem imcha gibor hachayo. And we have different proofs as to why he's allowed to say this. Do not shame her, though your mother be old. And the verse says, and it is a time to act for Hashem. They have nullified your law. Rabbi Nosson says they have nullified your law because it is a time to act for Hashem. So we have different proofs at the end as to Boaz is allowed to say a bracha to Hashem. He's allowed to say use Hashem's name to greet another person. Yivarechacha Hashem. Okay, so we finished the Mishnayos brachos. I'm very happy that we did this, and I'm very happy that you guys were here along. If you see this share, a year later or 2 years, you want to go back to the beginning and you want to start and just finish, and you'll feel accomplished, and as much as I feel accomplished. And thank you everybody for listening, and only great things happen for you, and the bracha for you all to be able to learn more than just brachos and go through all the Mishnayos and all Gemara. That's the hope. We're always, we never really finish learning in Judaism. We're always constantly learning more and constantly questioning more. And that's really the point of learning, is to just learn more. I know it's, learning is the end, is the result, it's not the reward. The reward is the fact, we have the famous Mishnah, that a mitzvah, what is it? A mitzvah. Mitzvah is mitzvah. And a mitzvah, the mitzvah itself is the enjoyment. It's just so the learning is the enjoyment. It's not just finishing, but at the same time, it is amazing to finish, and you need to be happy about finishing and realizing you did accomplish. Take a break and to celebrate. So thank you everybody for listening, and an amazing.
Shabbat shalom, shkoch.